Hi, everybody. This is Melinda. I am the host of this today's conference, WYN Womenium Summit 2022. We are in Dubai. So our speaker, Shirley McPherson, is in Dubai. Come on, Shirley. so she's so our beautiful lady is here in Dubai. Amazing. so before she start the session, so let's have a beautiful introduction video of Shirley McPherson. Okay. So let's play the video.
Began her career as a prosecutor in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After several years of service, Chevelle left the DA's office to become an entrepreneur. She formed her own law firm, McPherson Law, where she quickly expanded into 3 locations within her first year of business. Chevelle has taken on high-profile legal cases and has been recognized as a rising star super lawyer, a top 100 national trial lawyer, a top 100 black lawyer, a top 25 criminal trial lawyer, a top 10 Pennsylvania female lawyer, and a lawyer of distinction. Top 10% of the USA. Chevelle is the #1 best-selling author of the book Soar Beyond the Heels of Adversity. She was recognized as Woman of the Year by the National Association of Professional Women. Chevelle is an award-winning international speaker and the host of the podcast Soarpreneurs Uninterrupted. Chevelle is also the CEO of the Soar to Success Academy, a company that offers business coaching and consulting services, as well as online programs and digital products. Chevelle currently serves as a business and legal strategist, helping entrepreneurs accelerate their income and protect their profit using a combination of effective business and legal strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, Chevelle McPherson.
Yeah, did I have the PowerPoint? Or no? Oh. Want me to test it? Okay. No? Okay. Yeah. You do it. Okay. All right. So let's go. Good morning, everybody. Who's super excited to be here actually in Dubai? Yay. And who's excited to be here in Dubai via the internet? Yay. To my internet audience, I'm super excited. So I'm Chevelle McPherson, and today I'm going to talk to you about bossing up your brand, because it makes no sense for you to be building a business, as I call, on quicksand, because you have no foundation. And I need you to stop promoting and growing a business that you technically don't own. It's almost like renting a business, and at any given moment, you can be kicked out by the person who actually comes along and registers it and owns it. So this is what we're going to talk about today: how to get legally positioned for ultimate profit, protection, and peace of mind. So I need you to boss up your brand. I want you to be able to protect, monetize, and leverage your brand for ultimate financial security, so that you can not only make money but leave a legacy. You may be asking, who is Chevelle McPherson? You already saw my video, so you know a little bit about me, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more. So I started my legal career off as a prosecutor, as you saw from the video. But after working as a prosecutor for a long time, it was exciting, but it's a grind, right? Because you have 50 cases a day, you're working nights, you're working weekends, so it got to be a little bit tired. So what did I decide to do? I decided to go off and become an entrepreneur. So how many of you left your 40-hour work week because you were super excited to become an entrepreneur, and it became a 100-hour work week, right? So I usually say, I started taking on all these high profile cases, And yeah, I received all these acclamations. I'm not gonna go through them all because you already saw I was a super lawyer and a rising star and all those fabulous things. Quickly rose to a top national attorney. And I was thinking, yay, me, I'm super excited about all of that. But then here's what really happened. The grind got realer. And what I mean by that is that's where I realized that not only was I a lawyer, but now I'm working from courthouse to courthouse. I'm from town to town. I'm from building to building. So I thought the grind was real when I was a prosecutor, but as a criminal defense attorney, it was realer. So what was happening is you can keep what was happening is I thought to myself that something had to change, right? Because I was successful, but I was quickly heading for a decline. How many of you ever feel like you're at the top of your game, or or trying to get to the top of your game, but you feel drained and tired and frustrated, and like, when is it really gonna like happen? And you just keep heading for this dive. So it had to change for me. So what I did was I wrote a book, and I talked about all of my adversities and how they became opportunities and how I got to the point of becoming a lawyer. And then that led to some other things. So I started speaking, like I'm here in Dubai. I was speaking and traveling like all around the world, meeting a lot of amazing women and a few good men. and this is what I saw to be the problem. Here was the problem. You all are doing this, ignoring the legal side of your business, because everybody's walking around, you're a coach and you're an accountant, you're a CPA, you're a photographer, you're doing all these fancy things, but when it comes to the legal side, you're like hiding and putting your head in the sand, because most of you just don't know what you just don't know, or what you need to know, right? So I became known as the legal boss. My law firm started serving entrepreneurs like all over the world, and I started taking on some of the top influencers in the industry, like JV, Insider Circle, Success Road Academy from Canada, and then a lot of, you can keep moving. And then not only that, these are my favorite, what I call boss up CEOs. They're not just the high influencers in the industry, but they're you, because you are the ones, you in the internet world, you are the people who are really putting your head in the sand, because most of the top influencers, they know that they need to protect their brand. They know they need to protect their business because they're making millions and multi-millions. But let me just say this to you. If a top influencer had a legal problem, it probably wouldn't be as difficult to navigate as it would be for you, the small business owner, because they have a team, they have finances, they have backing. You are really building your business from the entrepreneurs that I meet off of your back, your blood, your sweat, and your tears. So it's much more important for you to be legally bossed up than it is for them. So this is what we're going to learn today. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. To learn how you can boss up your brand and become a boss up CEO. Who's ready? Ready. Woo! All right, let's go. Let's get into it. All right, so let's do this. Okay, here we go. I want you to own and safeguard your intellectual property. Why is it important? Because your intellectual property is what I call your bling. So let me just explain. So, I'm up here and I love my little Chanel. I'm dripping a little bit Chanel, little earring. That's my bling, right? So, I have bling, but guess what? Your business also has bling. What is the bling in your business? It's your online programs, it's your courses, it's your content, it's your business name, it's your taglines, it's your logo. That is the bling of your business. I have security. I have insurance on my bling, my whatever's in my home. I have homeowners insurance. I have content protection. But I want to ask you this: are you protecting your bling? Because this is how you protect your bling. Your bling needs to be safeguarded. Let me just tell you what it is. You want to use copyright and you want to use trademark to protect your business bling. Copyright is going to protect your books, your blogs, your content. Think of copyright. The C is for any content that you're creating and putting out in the world. Trademark is going to protect your brand. What distinguishes you from your competition, your logos, your tagline, your business name. You need to be using copyright and trademark protection so that your bling is protected. I always say, I'll give you an example. If you walk into a drugstore right now and you go to pick up like some deodorant, right? It probably has a security tag on it. if Rite Aid or the drugstore, the pharmacy, whatever it's called, wherever you're at, because we're international, so they're called different things, but whatever that store is, if they think it's important enough to safeguard their $5 deodorant, why would you not think it's important to safeguard your content, your courses, your products, your services, your whatever it is you're creating? Like, why would you not think, is it not even worth $5? They put a lock on deodorant, but you're not going to put a lock on your bling. That's why I'm here to help you. So I need you to understand this. The internet street is dangerous. Thieves are lurking. Copycats are out there. While you're sitting back there creating your blogs and your content, people are coming along and they're swiping it, right? So this is why you want to have federal protection. Because what is federal protection going to give you? Just go through it all. It's going to give you proof of ownership. It's going to give you protection, and it's going to give you penalties. Now let me explain. Proof of ownership, when you register it, it's like the lock, right? It's registered. Rite Aid knows that they've secured it. You need to secure it, because when it's registered, the federal government they're going to give you a certificate so you have proof that you own it. If something happens, you're protected. You can go into federal court, not common law court where you have to go in and then you have to prove ownership and you have to decide who used it first. Was it really mine? Was it really hers? Bosses don't roll like that. We don't operate out of confusion, and we don't have to prove anything. We want to have proof in our hand. Then you get penalties, and I'm going to talk to you about penalties later, but the penalties when you register your intellectual property are statutory. You walk into federal court knowing you have proof of ownership, knowing you're protected, and then knowing the exact amount of penalties you're going to get, and I'm going to show you how in a few minutes. So now let me just give you some examples, because you might be thinking, okay, Chanel, this all sounds really good, but I'm not ready, or I don't need it yet. Let me just let you hear from a few people through me. So let me just give you an example. I went to New York and I was at an event and I spoke, and I watched these people, these hardworking entrepreneurs, just like all of you, come in, drag this cart. And for about 2 hours, I saw them literally put this cart together. And then they started serving tea. Their branding was beautiful. The tea was great. Everything was fabulous, right? So they asked me to trademark the next day. They were like, oh, can you trademark? This is what happened. I said, your branding is beautiful. Your tea is great. And I know you've been using this branding for the past several years. But what did I tell you? They didn't own it. Someone else does, and they needed to stop using it immediately. I said, you have to destroy all of your branding material and rebrand. That means that this cart they spent all this money on branding, they had to destroy. Because if you're using a name that you don't own, that's just not registered, that means the person, the owner, remember I said you're just the tenant, the owner comes along and they go, sorry, Donna, they could either say tear it down, or can you ship that to me? Because you're using my branding, so I could actually just say ship it to me. Maybe I'll start using this in my business because you've already bought it for me, so why not? So who is here wanting to spend money on marketing materials to just be able to hand it over to the real owner, right? It's like moving out of your apartment and having to leave all of your furniture, all of your bling. Nobody wants to have to do that. So this is an example of why you want to do it. The other reason why is you want to stop people from infringing. So this is anybody in here like I'm a .com whore. Like I'm like, oh, I like that. I buy the .com. It's $20. GoDaddy. I just like collect them. I'm the only person. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I'm just sorry. Okay, I got one other person up here. All right. So here's the thing. I was tagged into a Facebook group, and someone was all excited about this .com. And this is what I wrote. I know you're excited about that .com name you just registered, but that name is the brand name of an influencer in the industry. And if you use it, prepare to get a cease and desist. So you can't just run around like buying .com names, using taglines, using logo. You can't just do that, because it's not just about people infringing on you, but you don't want to be that internet thief. You don't want to be that copycat, even inadvertently, because it happens. So there's a certain process I'm going to show you at the end that you need to do before you start buying .coms, before you start using names and taglines, and before you start calling yourself things, even like the legal boss. You got to make sure, because if it's owned by someone else, what's going to happen? You're going to one day be what? Evicted. Repeat after me. Evicted. Okay. From your own business. All right. So we don't want to do that. Here's another thing. And I'm going to just share examples of things that are common amongst my entrepreneurs, because I know my people. How many of you download photographs? Like I have all these pictures in my PowerPoint, like you download them. Now, some of you may get them from like Adobe Stock where you pay. Some of you might think, oh, that's just a nice photograph, like this lovely person did, Allison Perrier. This is an article that she wrote. I actually heard her speaking on a podcast, and what she did was she was a psychotherapist. She was deciding to start her own practice, and so she was just surfing along the internet. She saw this beautiful picture. She thought, oh my God, that would be awesome for my Facebook cover. So what did she do? Like most entrepreneurs with their head in the sand that don't know, she downloaded it, put it on her Facebook page, started using it. While she's in the supermarket the next day grocery shopping, she gets an email on her cell phone from an attorney who says, you just infringed upon my client's copyright. That's his photograph. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Well, mistake number one was doing it. Mistake number two was saying, sorry, I don't know, because that was the answer he was waiting for. So now she got hit with a lawsuit. And I'm just giving you an inside secret. This is this guy's business model. He is a photographer who knows that you are sticking your head in the sand, and he's floating pictures out on the internet, waiting for you to download them so you can get hit with a cease and desist and his lawyer can settle the case. Luckily for her, she was a psychotherapist, so she had business insurance that covered it. But how many of you can afford a 5-figure lawsuit while you're growing and scaling your business? And if you can't afford it, who wants to afford it? Nobody. So you want to avoid doing that. You should not be downloading photographs unless you're purchasing some type of license. So anybody familiar with who this person is? Because now I'm going to talk about some celebrities. You're shaking your head. Who is this? Morris Day. Okay, so Morris Day is from Morris Day and the Times. He's from the famous group of Prince. Prince is the legend who passed away. And Morris Day and the Time actually is a name that's registered by Prince. So when Prince died, guess what? When you register your trademark, you own it, right? So what happens to property that you own? It goes to your estate. So Morris Day and the Times, that name went to Prince's estate. Well, Prince's estate, they're not friends with Morris Day and the Time. So here's what happened. Morris Day and the Time got hit with a cease and desist for the name they've been using for, repeat after me, 40 years. Okay, who wants to be operating and building a business for how many? And then told you got to what? Move because you've been what? Evicted. Anybody in here want to be evicted from their business after 40 years? Okay, so he didn't either. So this is what he wrote. I've given 40 years of my life building up a name and legacy that Prince and I came up with. A name that while he was alive, he had no problem with me using. Literally, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into bringing value to that name. Anybody in here putting their blood, sweat, and tears into building their business? Because I'm just saying. All right. So now he's saying he can't use it. And not once did Prince say he couldn't use the name, but now his multi-million-dollar estate wants to rewrite history by taking the name away from me, thus impacting how I feed my family. So as of now, per the Prince estate, I can no longer use Morris Day and the Time in any capacity. Who wants to get this after building a business for 40 years where you have a reputation, where people know you, and you don't even really have to market. You have to say, I'm giving a concert or I'm putting my product out there. They know you, but now you can't use that name. Anybody? No, I didn't think so. So, all right, this is the latest one. You must know who this guy is. How do we know Kanye West? Oh, I love his music. All right, okay. So, Kanye West. So, let's talk about Kanye West. I know you love that slogan, Kanye West, but go on. But before I tell you what it is, I know you love that slogan, but you need to stop using it, dude, because it's a registered trademark. Go ahead. Kanye West can't sell white. Remember, he started saying White Lives Matter? He put it on a t-shirt. It's a registered copyright. He's been evicted from using it. Let me just tell you why. Let me explain. Because you can go back. Because I believe it was a white man who actually bought the name White Lives Matter because he didn't want it to get into the wrong hands, and he didn't want people to like misuse it and things of that nature. And he ended up transferring it and gifting it to, because he's the owner, he can do that, gifting it to two African American guys who are philanthropists, who are in the media, who are doing positive things. He gifted it to them as a trademark, because if you have a trademark, it's your property, it's your asset. You can sell it, you can license it. I hope somebody's hearing me. You can franchise it, you can gift it. So he gifted it to them. So now Kanye West is getting what? evicted from using that name, White Lives Matter. So he can't work with Adidas. He can't work with Skechers. He can't sell this T-shirt. I don't know. Somebody want to lend him some money because it's not looking so great. So we can go on. We don't want to be Kanye West, right? So this is the other one I want to say. When people are always tagging me on Facebook and in social media, I get this tag. Chevelle can probably help you. She's the legal boss, right? One of the sad things about the coaching and info marketing industry is copycats and IP theft. I found 2 of my courses pirated and sold on websites that support, in fact, thrive on this kind of IP theft. Sad. So they text me and they tag me, and I go in here, and so the first thing that I ask is, "Do you own it?" Because if you don't own it, it's a whole different process. Like if you own it, we just cease and desist. We just do what? Evict. But if you don't own it, we have a problem. He didn't register. He didn't own it. So you can go next. He didn't own it. So here's what I just want to remind you. Remember I told you, when you register your trademark, you get protection, you get penalties. You get proof of ownership, you get protection from the federal government, and you get penalties. So let's see how this works. So this is how this conversation with this dude went. I'm going to show him. Donna, you can go back to this side. Oh, Donna, you got to come up here because we got to be in front of the people. So you got to come up. Hi, Donna. How are you? Hi. Okay, so this is Donna. Donna is a lovely, wonderful entrepreneur. Wave to the people. Hey. So, but Donna is a thief. Donna, this is a pretty thief. So she's an intellect alert. Just for 5 minutes, we're gonna make her a thief. She's really a good person, but for now she's a thief. So Donna has been infringing on somebody's copyright. So let's turn around. Let's have a conversation, Donna. So this is how this gonna go. So I'm saying, I looked on the website. Oh my God. Is that my blog that's on Donna's website? Like I created it. Oh, let me call her. She's a nice lady. So I called Donna. Hi Donna, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm great, but I just went on my website and I saw that you have my blog. Like, can you take it down? I worked really hard to create that. I'm not sure, Chevelle. You're not sure?
You worked hard to get it.
I know, but all right, let me figure out what I'm gonna do. All right, Donna, I'll call you back. Okay, that's one example. That's what you have to do when you don't own and you rent, because you gotta ask people to take your stuff down. That's not how bosses roll. Okay, you stand right there. Okay, because now Chevelle's gonna come call you. Okay, the legal boss. Okay, so I am looking online and I see my program. I'm like, oh, hell no. Is that my blog? Oh, Donna is definitely tripping. Let me give her a call. Hello, Donna? Yes, this is Chevelle. I just noticed, I looked on your website. I noticed that you have my blog up there. That blog is copyright protected. I own it. I have proof of ownership. If you don't remove it within 1 minute, actually, you now have 58 seconds to take it down. I'm going to actually sue you in federal court. I am going to be requesting $30,000 for each time you continue to publish it. I'm going to request $150,000 for each time you publish it in financial penalties because I own it. And oh, you're also going to have to pay my attorney, the legal boss. As a matter of fact, she's in Dubai right now, so you're going to have to pay to fly her back to New Jersey, where you will be sued. You have an amazing day, but you now have 30 seconds to remove it, or you will be sued.
Done. Wow.
Thanks, Donna. Which phone call do you want to make?
Did you remove it or not?
Done. This is how bosses roll. I call it boss moves. Somebody say that with me, what? Boss moves. Okay? So that's what ownership gets you. We just evict people. We don't ask. We just let them know because we own it. That's how we roll.
But what happens if you don't own it, if you just write it?
If you're here today, you should be owning it. Okay? We're going to have a conversation with you because we got to take you out of tenancy. We can move on. All right, so I just want you to understand there's a very thin line between failure and success. We know this, right? Yes. But we don't want your brand protection to be the reason that you're going to be on the failure side. So we want to make sure that you are doing everything to succeed. So here's why. I just want to give you a quick reminder. You can just put them all up. If you don't safeguard your intellectual property, you are failing to protect your brand, which means your content can be stolen, Your creativity can be lost. You know how many people coming to me with these ideas or they have slogans or things, but they're scared to publish it? Sound familiar? Because I don't want anybody to steal it. Well, if you publish it, you get to make boss moves and you don't have to stifle your creativity, right? Fear of publishing your work, brand confusion. Nike does not want to be confused with Adidas. Do you want to be confused with Donna? Does Donna want to be confused with Chevelle? No, it's real simple. Register your copyright and trademark. Expensive rebranding. I can stand here all day. I have a client right now who I'm working with who saw his exact branding somewhere else. It was cheaper for him to rebrand than to pay me to litigate. But guess what? The rebranding was still $10,000. Who wants to do that? Yeah. It costs like $350 to register a trademark, but you're spending thousands and thousands later because you're trying to save money by keeping your head in the sand, and it's not beneficial to you. Again, it can result in expensive legal fees. So this is why you want to make sure. Now, I want to just share some myths with you before I go. I want you to understand a few things because this is common. Just because you have an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, or if you register your business, kudos. Donna will be very proud of you because she's a CPA, and it's great because you get to protect and you also can get creative with tax planning and saving. But that does nothing for your protection. It doesn't give you ownership. You could actually be renting your LLC. If you don't register the LLC with the federal government, it's nice that you register with the state, but you still don't own it. So you're still renting. That's not a good look. Domain names, just because you bought the .com, like I showed you, it doesn't mean you own it. You're still renting. You can be evicted. Just because you put the TM up there, it's nice. I'm glad to see it, but that just means that you claim you're going to one day own it, but you're still a renter. Only the R means that you own. Okay? The R means you're registered. That means that you're bossed up. If you don't, you do not own your brand. Okay. So take a picture of this slide because this is how remember I said you are buying all these domain names. So here's the process before we go. You want to always Google the name of your course, your tag, whatever it is, your product, your service. The first thing, Google University is your friend and it's free. So just do a check to see if anybody's using the name. Once you do a Google search, then this is the part people miss. Go to uspto.gov and check the trademark electronic search system even before you file your business name and become an LLC or an S Corp, because if you register your business in an LLC or S Corp or C Corp, but you haven't trademarked it, you're just renting. So at least make sure the name is available. The next thing you want to do is check. Now you want to go to your state site where you want to register it. Make sure it's available there. If the name is good, you can register it. Here's the other thing you want to do. You want to watch it. Like I have dings. Every time something comes up with like legal boss in it, I get a hit on my phone because you can go to google.com/alerts because once you register it, you got to monitor it. So when people like Donna swipe your stuff, you get to make a boss call, right? Last thing you want to do is, so that's trademark. Copyright, you can create your course content, put it in tangible form because you can't copyright your ideas. Once it's in tangible form, book, blog, your website, then you can go to copyright.gov and you can register your copyright. This is the steps that you want to at least take at a minimum, and do not stick your head in the sand when it comes to this. So cheers to everyone in here, because now you know how to get bossed up. Okay, so I got a gift for you. Last slide. You can either scan this QR code. So there's two things I'm going to tell you about that I have for you. The first one is free. It's my brand protection guide. You go to this site right here, or you take a picture of this QR code. You will get my brand protection guide where I talk about a lot of the stuff I talked about plus more. The other thing, which I just put up on here last night, in about 2 weeks, I'm supposed to have one next week, but I'm having another one, high demand. I'm actually having a trademark workshop. Now, the trademark workshop is not free, but if you're interested, I just want to let you know, because a lot of people don't get trademark because it is expensive. If my law firm did trademarks, I'm just telling you, it's between $1,500 to $5,500 if my firm does it. But Donna knows this was my birthday month. I've been traveling all around the world. I came here from Paris, and my gift to people, my entrepreneurs, is this trademark workshop. I'm doing this for the first time ever to try and make trademark more accessible to small business owners. And in this workshop, you're going to do your trademark, but I'm going to show you how. We're going to fill your application out together in a group setting. It's going to be a small group, and it's going to be hands-on. so that I know I can help you make sure it's done. The goal of the workshop is at the end of the workshop, you will not be a renter. You will what? Own. You will not be getting evicted from your business and your brand. So take a picture of this. It's been my pleasure. Greetings from Dubai.
Awesome. That's what I need on boss. Awesome, awesome. It was wonderful speech. Yeah, so energetic. You boosted our WYN conferences with your speech. Thank you so much, Madam Shirley McPherson. So if you want to rate the presentation of Shirley McPherson, so you can go to the messages tab and you can give her rating. And and also, so there is an exhibitor booth for Shirley McPherson. So you have books to sell. So you can go to so you can even visit the virtual exhibitor booth, and also you can go to the physical exhibitor booth. Here it's here. So you can use your exhibitor booth.
And can I just say one more thing before you let them go? Can you pull it back up? Because she just mentioned something. I'm gonna let them know.
Yeah, I mean, it's live.
It's live.
Just disconnected.
Oh, it just come up. Okay. So also for those of you who aren't here, I have a booth here. You can purchase my book. But Legally Bossed Up just launched last week from Paris. Is now a #1 international best-selling book. So if you can't be here, you can actually just go on. You can go to Amazon.com and you can purchase the book. Legally Bossed Up. The book is on Amazon. So for those not here, you can get the book.
Yes, you got it. So just grab the books now. Just go to the Amazon and you can find the books. Thank you so much, Emily, for being a wonderful speaker at the WYN conferences in Dubai. Thank you, wonderful ladies at one spot. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the next speaker.